We're talking about the last of the Dawn of the Jedi comics here, which is called Dawn of the Jedi Force War. This is a 5 issue mini by John Ostrander and art by Jan DeRusso. And in it, the Rakatan invasion has begun. They've gone into the Tython system, but they're kind of at a stalemate. Um, their leader is trying to find the Infinity Gate that the Qua hid in the Abyss, and we find out the true nature of Trill's infiltration and Zesh's mind block, and we find out everything that happens. And it comes to an epic conclusion where we realize why the Rakatan have invaded, and we get the origin of the Flesh Raiders. What did I think of Force War? It's too short, is the biggest problem. This is 1 year after Prisoner of Bogan. Dagan Locke is in full control of the Jedi military, which I don't like simply because we didn't have enough issues in between Prisoner of Bogan and Force War to make that transition make sense. I know that it's Dagan Locke's vision that he's running the military, and that he helped them in the Despot War. He ended the Despot War pretty much single-handedly. So in that small regard, it makes sense that the Jedi Council would allow him to run the Jedi military. Also, certain characters like Hawk have really small roles. In fact, Hawk is just flying a fighter through the whole thing. He's barely involved in this storyline. Where this shines is Zesh coming to terms with what he is, and that he has a choice in matters. Praedor Skulkar, I believe is his name, the main leader of the Rakata, admits that the force is diminishing in the Infinite Empire, and that that's the reason he wants the Infinity Gates, is he can take as much he has infinite ability to enslave all the Force sensitives essentially in the universe with the Infinity Gate. But I mean, the big problem with this is there's too many characters in too little time, and a lot of them are cast to the side, and you forget about them. Like Hawks and his blonde Jedi, I never remember her name. Like, the two of them are just flying ships the whole time. We don't really get to see, because it was kind of clear. I always thought, when I was reading the Force Storm and Prisoner of Bogan when they came out, I was like, okay, they're going to have a romance, and it's going to be a nice, a fun little thing, because they clearly have chemistry with one another. I thought that there was going to be a romance there, and there's just no time for that. But it's a mixed bag. I'm a defender of Dawn of the Jedi because it's very clever in what it does. It's so far into the past. It's like how Legacy was beforehand, where that's way into the future of Star Wars, and we're going way into the past again, sort of like Tales of the Jedi did before this, and the subsequent Old Republic, where it's like an ancient time. Let's go even more ancient. And unfortunately, this is one of the many products, like I said in my Prisoner of Bogan review, this is a product of rushing things due to the Disney buyout happening. It has an open-ended ending where it was very clear if Disney had wanted things to continue with the EU, there's a place to go with it. But at the same time, it ends well enough for our main characters that it's somewhat satisfying. I don't know. it's hard for me to recommend Force War. The only way I recommend it is if you've already read the other Dawn of the Jedi things, and this is the end of that era. Um, so yeah, I've pretty much covered everything Dawn of the Jedi. I don't think I've reviewed the Kindle's Daily Post, the Journal of Lannery Brock, but otherwise, I tackled the other short story, which is from Star Wars Insider, called Eruption, because it was in the audiobook. They did an audiobook for it. It's at the end of Dawn of the Jedi Into the Void. So I've covered that. But it's weird. I pretty much covered Dawn of the Jedi now. It's the first era where I've covered pretty much everything. And at some point I will go and read the Kindle's Daily Post story. I think I have it somewhere saved on a drive. I'd have to find it, and maybe at some point I'll do that, but it's not a top priority right now. So, anyway, what would I rank this? It's probably like a 2.8 out of 5. Great art, as always, but it's too rushed. It just is too rushed. Now, if this had been like 12 issues, I think we could have had like an epic conclusion, but there wasn't, or 10 issues. There just wasn't time. And so, like, twists and stuff are really done poorly because of that. Even with John Ostrander writing, and he's one of the all-time greats for Star Wars, it just doesn't work. Sorry. But next time, we're going to start doing Tales of the Jedi, which is, the namesake of this omnibus. I can't wait to talk to you all about actual Tales of the Jedi. I mean, they're Jedi. They are Tales, but the original series. So we'll start talking about that soon enough. So anyway, have a nice day.